All right, so our show is all about celebrating the inclusivity and the welcoming vibes, the overall community of cons in general. Can you
Uh-huh.
just kind of tell me a little bit about your overall con experience?
I started doing these cons maybe I want to say like 8 years ago. And at first when they asked me to do one, I was a little hesitant because I had visions of me sitting by myself at the
Sure,
table.
sure, yeah,
Uh, but as I started doing them, I think the best part that I found is how happy these fans are to be able to meet the characters that they grew up with or whatever they love, and it's a great feeling to be able to interact with people who are just like, oh my god.
yeah, absolutely.
uh, it's a crazy thing, and I kind of found my people because these guys, everybody's saying, oh, all these nerds are going to the cons and stuff, and I'm like, I'm a nerd.
Yeah,
It's great.
exactly.
Yeah. It's really, um, it's a fun thing. It's a weird. It's the way that it's developed. It's been like there's a con everywhere every
Right.
weekend.
Yeah,
So there's some stuff for everybody,
absolutely.
and yeah, it's been quite a revealing experience, but it's been great.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any specific stories that stand out to you?
Um, there's some pretty people bring you stuff to sign and things like that. There's been some pretty it's like a young woman came by one time at one of the cons and she said, "Here, sign your name on my arm here." I said, "Well, okay." He says, "My husband is a tattoo artist and he's going to tattoo it right there." I said, "Like, really? It's it. I know you can take the tattoos away from these days, but that's kind of that's pretty harsh." She goes, "No, no, this is what I want." I said, "Okay, okay." So I signed my name, and then at the end of the day, she came back and she
Yeah,
said, "Look,"
there it is.
and it was there. It was a tattoo. I'm like, okay, that's a little too much pressure
Yeah, I imagine.
to have my name on somebody's arm, but
What would the little kid you think to know that somebody is willing to have your name tattooed on them?
it's it's one of the things is the other things about the cons is it makes you feel very, very lucky to be doing what you're doing.
Sure.
I'm very lucky to have been able to do this for a long time, and you work on stuff, and you never know. It's like a job, and you go on. But here we are, GI Joe, 45 years later, or
Absolutely.
whatever,
Yeah.
and it's still, people are still going, "Oh my God, this is great." The Ninja Turtle stuff is still the same thing, 35 years, and they're like, the people come up to you and, "Oh my God, you scared the heck out of me when I was a kid." It's like, okay,
That's my job.
yeah, that's it. Thank you. I did my job.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And speaking of Ninja Turtles, I would be very regretful if I let you get out of here without talking about Shredder and TMNT.
Yeah.
Secret of the Ooze is a movie that I grew up on. I loved it so much. What's some fond memories you have about that? What's it like stepping into a role like Shredder?
It was, again, when you're working on it, I was like, at that point in time, I was like, oh man, I got a movie. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm working. And you go and you do the work and, you have fun on set and you kind of move on. You never think this is going to be something iconic. This is going to be something that's going to last forever. But like I say, here we are.
Yeah.
And it was fun. My friend Jimmy Saito was the Shredder in the first movie. And then the second movie, I guess they kind of wanted to tone down the violence a little bit,
Sure.
make it more of a kids movie. I'm not sure why they wanted to recast the Shredder and April, but I was like, okay. I went to the audition, I got the job. I was like, hey, it was great. It was fun to do. Um, it's just people always say, oh wow, what was it like to be on set and to be the Shredder? It's like, well, hey, it's like again, it was a good job.
Well, a cool costume.
Yeah, it was okay. Thank God I didn't have to. My costume wasn't as bad as the turtle is.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I keep hearing some horror stories from them about how much I kind of remember back then on set. We're all sitting around in between takes or something, and they're just like, they have this special like chair, I guess, built for them because they can't sit down. They
Right.
have to kind of lean. So these guys are here and they got the head off and it's got the air conditioning hose stuck down their thing, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, could be worse.
yeah, it's good. It's good to get a job, but man, it's sometimes there's the glamour of Hollywood.
Exactly. Yeah, real hard work.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and let you get out of here. But before we go, can you tell us what con is next for you, and then what projects are you working on?
I am next weekend. I'll be heading to Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, Boston for Fan Expo Boston. And in terms of projects, let's see. I have, these days, I have to sign a friggin' NDA even to audition for stuff.
Sure.
So it's hard to tell. I do have, I don't know when exactly, but I did a show called The Expanse, and they've been doing this they're going to do a game,
Okay.
The Expanse game, and I'm supposed to be part of it, but it keeps getting pushed back, and I think we're supposed to work on it in the fall in a few months, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I hope that comes through.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's fun. These games are crazy now. I did a couple of games in the 90s, and it's nothing like what they have now.
Well, I was going to ask, what's your relationship with doing voiceover for cartoons, animations, especially for something like G.I. Joe versus doing video games, especially nowadays?
People always think, oh, he's one of the voice actors. I'm like, nah, not really, because most of my stuff is on camera.
Yeah.
If I get lucky, once in a while, I'll get a voiceover job.
Sure.
Doing the G.I. Joe stuff back then is a little different because there was no, you kind of went up to the mic and then you did your thing. I did a game called Ghost of Tsushima, and for the voiceover stuff, you wear a helmet, the camera, so that it records your facial expressions and your lip movements and all that, and goes to the computer, and magic comes out.
I was going to say, there you are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you on social media or websites.
I'm not good at social media. I'm on Facebook. I have an Instagram account that my daughter made for me, and I don't really know what to do with it. Every once in a while, she'll say, "Dad, check your Instagram because there's somebody's trying to tell you something or somebody sent you something." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, how do I do that?" But yeah, Facebook, Instagram. I think that's about it.
Great.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure.
All right.
Thank
Sweaty.
you, man. That's all right.